Good afternoon. This is Mr. Lehman with Sign of the Times, the 7th of October. Without further ado, let's look at the top stories. The breaking news article that surfaced on IOL suggested that a warrant of arrest was issued yesterday for ANC Secretary General Ace Magashule. And that's false. That was fake news. It was released last night on, I believe it was Global, with Peter Ndoro, and he managed to speak to the Hawks, and they basically said that those things were false. Now, COSATU attempted to shut down South Africa today. Schooling and other government services were to be shut down, with 2.2 million jobs lost. Brian, is now really the time for businesses to be shut down?
Zwelinzini Zavi said last night that this was the right time, as we need to join forces to ensure that those convicted of corruption are arrested. Waiting any longer is futile. We need to raise our collective consciousness against selective bargaining.
And were there any businesses disrupted today?
Now, they weren't targeting any specific businesses. In the outset, it looks like making people late for work was the best they could do. This could hardly be deemed an offense against the private sector or the business sector. Well, the refrain from Vavi is that gender-based violence is wrong. Corruption is wrong. Collective bargaining is wrong. Keeping silent and doing nothing against evildoers is wrong.
Were there any mass rallies?
Well, with no direct snubbing of any businesses or anything like that. They just didn't want to violate any lockdown protests. Um, you know, that's really what it is. All they wanted to do was hand over the memorandum.
What type of demonstrations did they have today?
SADTU and COSATU plan to bring the country to a standstill today. They're protesting and picketing due to the amount of jobs lost. South Sea is axing millions of jobs. In Gauteng, a human chain was formed around the union buildings. In the Western Cape, COSATU assembled at Parliament while addressing province-centric issues in other provinces around SA.
I understood that Vavi's initial spark was the wage agreement, but now he's bringing up other issues that got nothing to do with jobs in the public sector.
Well, Zwelinzini Vavi says that this time around he's uniting the unemployed workers. He's uniting their issues, gender-based violence issues, evictions in rural areas, and he's uniting and raising all of these issues facing the country on one day. This time around, I never get bitten. Boy, you really wanna fix me, hit me. This time around, you're making me sick. You really wanna get me. Somebody's out to get me. You really wanna fix me, hit me. But this time around, I'm taking note. Boy, you really wanna get me. You really wanna get me.
En hy het sy eie song ook. Dit is nogal 'n lekker liedjie. Anyway, is this the right time to be striking?
Well, Vavi says that COVID-19 crisis has exposed the fragility and the chronic shortages of the infrastructure. He says that if they don't strike now, when?
Was the police involved? Did any essential workers abandon their posts to join the strike?
Well, those who are willing to sacrifice their time, may have abandoned their post for one day just to join the strike action. Police are essential staff, so they wouldn't be abandoning their posts, I'm sure.
Thank you, Brian, for speaking about the strike action today and for sharing our remarks from Mr. Mr. Zwelin Zima Vavi. I hear they're striking in numerous locations around the country, including Cell C headquarters. Shouldn't our focus be on getting the economy back again?
Well, the issues are legitimate, but the pathway to a resolution is not strike action. We need to make sure that the ways of the past have been dealt with, as a discussion would be more fruitful than a strike.
Is it really fair to demand an inflation hike at this time, or should public servants say, let's wait before we demand an increase?
Well, there is a contractual agreement that has not been adhered to, and further exacerbated by the greater demand of health workers during the pandemic. We need to acknowledge our past agreements and discuss how we're going to carry this on into the future.
What does the President say about the South African Democratic Teachers Union?
Well, on the 30th anniversary of the Teachers Union, he basically said it's time to focus on the important role that teachers play in our society. He paid tribute to all the teachers who work under very difficult circumstances and praised the work they do. Uh, he basically said that their dedication to our children and the future of our country uh, has been proven time and time again. For the sake of our children and economic progress, they heeded the call, and they were justifiably reluctant to do so due to COVID-19. However, in spite of this, they triumphed over fear, and we remember those teachers who have succumbed to the virus and wish those affected teachers a full recovery so they can return to their profession. The government will continue to do everything in its power to provide the teachers with PPE and any other support they need to teach safely. The President has called for all to be safe and observe the regulations of hygiene and social distancing at all times. The government is tackling issues such as sanitation, clean water, and various other issues plaguing schools. We need to work together to rid our schools of violence, as both learner and teacher are negatively affected by it. Schools should be happy places when you enter, and you should be leaving with a smile. The South African Democratic Teachers Union needs to work harder at eradicating violence in our schools. They've been very vocal, and their role has been integral in improving our education system. Ramaphosa tackled corruption where it rears its head. There's a continued pressure that we all face from our people about eradicating corruption, and we must respond to what our people are saying about it. The government takes care of its workers and is totally committed to ensuring that the rights we have as workers will not be undervalued. Collective bargaining should not be undermined. We say this so that we can be ensured that the government will protect and work with the South African Democratic Teachers Union as a nation builder. There will be challenges, and we will address them and resolve them. Currently, we face enormous challenges, and one of those is the growth of our economy post-COVID. In a little while, they will be outlining a plan. It's wreaked havoc in the lives of our people and the education system as a whole. Ramaphosa has thanked SADTU for the role they've played so far. They have ensured that the youth of the country are educated during this difficult time, and this is a task that government wants to be engaged in with a 30-year-old SADTU. At this time, Mr. Lehman, I just want to show my appreciation to you for not only being a wonderful history teacher in my time as a high school learner, but also for future generations. And I'd like to give you this wonderful gift to show my appreciation. It's something really great. and something to nibble on, and I hope you enjoy it. Here you go.
Thank you, Brian. Thank you. What's this? Whoa, I'm going to show the viewers this. This is impressive. Something while I'm doing my marking. I don't know what to have first, if I'm going to be having the Woolies crisps or the salted peanuts or mayonnaise. Yeah, this is a lekker snack. It's mini sister, what is die? I'm looking forward to this, but the other day was World Teachers Day, and I didn't think I was going to be getting anything from anyone, but thank you for the belated present. I certainly hope my other teachers also got something for their troubles. It's been another sign of the times. It's time for us to go again. I hope you enjoyed this brief on the COSATU strike, and we must have a lekker day. That's a bye from me, and don't forget to make history today. Every day, create your history.
That's a bye from me as well. I'm sorry the times, and have a wonderful time, guys, and enjoy the day. Don't forget to make history.